mentioned Mixarama
Mixarama.
before,
That
and
was
you mentioned how you got the name, what you were inspired by. But tell me a little bit more about the event
that.
themselves and all of that.
That Mixarama was my first baby. That was the first event I kept in Palm Beach. That people know me from behind the scenes, and I used to sit the parties, but every party just seems the same.
Mm-hmm.
Every party just seems the same. So I wanted to do something different. So I asked Bees Council, say, yo, let's do something different. Um, I wanted something like Fully Loaded. There was an event in Jamaica called Fully Loaded where it's like different than the norm. Everybody come and just show them best talent.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't so much of a clash, but it was okay. Come show why you were rated as the best DJ.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought that here, and to take the clash out of the clash vibe away from it, we call it Mixarama. The best mix, the best MC. We got that route, but it didn't last that route because then everybody seemed to have it as the dance for look out for, and it's like a competing thing as who's the best.
Mm-hmm.
So it go with the flow. It go with the flow of the theme, I should say. Go with the theme at the event, and it worked out. We keep that event, I think 5 years, 5 or 6 years straight. We kept that event, but then everybody, every selector wanted to be Panorama. So what we did was we picked the at one time we picked the best three from Palm Beach, two from Fort Lauderdale, one from Jamaica. There's always one from Jamaica always up on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to keep the the top two that impressed the crowd the most the year before. We'll put them on to the next one, and then and just try to discover new talent.
Uh-huh.
If I can recall, that is where everybody lead was around. The fire lead, that's what them call themselves now. But that's what fire lead was discovered in a Mixarama. One year him come and it's like one year him come and him love it but didn't know the full of it yet. So it never placed, and the following year him shell it.
Wow.
You have another young youth at the time named Top Shatter. Him come one year and shell it. Nico Bam Bam take it one year. I think the most talk about one is Slaughter D, because we had just lost a fan of music in our West Palm Beach at the time in Boom Blast, and they played a dub in his honor, and that I think that song played for more than 10 minutes in the party, and it's just patience. And if anybody remember Mixrama, them will remember that particular moment when the song played. So when we did Mixrama, we wanted something different than the normal dance, because in a certain county, may I call it, you look on 10 flyers of the same sound and miss it upon it.
Yeah.
So them play the same way every year. So this particular song this particular event, you actually plan for it. You cut dub, you have your speech ready, you have everything ready to show why you rate it as the best. And that was Mixarama.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's discovering new talent that
Yes.
some of them are still around
Yes.
doing it. Like
Yes.
that's amazing. Like
Everybody get them chance from Mixarama.
yeah.
And we and that's why I took it to Jamaica, because you had some young talent down there at the time when nobody knew about 876 era code back then. I brought down Black China one time. I bring down Twitch one time. Saturday Island Vibes. Island Vibes went to Jamaica. I brought Island Vibes to the one of Jamaica. And believe it or not, them shell. When I said them shell it one round, them impressed the whole. We kept it on the beach, and the man of the whole entire beach, I think. So everybody got a little fame off a Mixarama.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So from playing in the events or in the club,
To being a promoter.
well, to going in the studio, you said, right?
Right.
To
So
the
you're a promoter. Right.
to events,
Right.
and then how radio? How did that come up?
Radio.
How did that come in?
Same way like dancehall. You always hear somebody on the radio where you always hear somebody or some um your journey through life. You always see somebody that everybody admire. Or somebody that's doing something for everybody, and I wanted to be that person. So after during the promotion time, this we had a station here, at the time, Friends FM, Quest DJ Quest was the owner, and I'm listening to them on the radio, and I realized, okay, so how come it's only weekend alone we hear the hypeness are going on this, and besides, alright, because I left out the club scene and decided I want the radio, still can have all three parts of what I do, the DJ part, the mixing part, and the promotion and the promoting part. So I actually went to Quest, and growing up back then, you listen to people like Barry G, and you hear Barry G phone and ring off the hook, and then you have the select of them, like, believe it or not, radio is a female me up on a radio, and just love how she play on the side. Say, yo, man, her name is ZJ Sparks.
Oh.
ZJ Sparks. I them listen to on radio and say, boy, yo, and when I got Jamaica, everybody radio up on Zip. If I don't Zip, they want to listen to DJ Nico up on the station right now. If I don't Nico, you hear DJ Liquid and them, and that vibe with them gear, and that's what I think Palm Beach did missing. So when we went on, Friends FM, we was on the air for a while, and then I decided, okay, I want to branch off, because the idea that I have for the vision that I had for radio, Quest didn't really see it the same way, right? To us back then it was just a hobby, but then the DJs that were coming around took it serious. So I said, all right, Quest, we're a branch off. Palm Beach big enough for 2 stations, let's do it. And that's how I branch off. How the name SupaJamz come together? it took us a while, because when I decided to do it on my own, then Jimmy loved radio just as much, and with this, I decided to bring Jimmy along with as a partner, and we while we were building the station, we were building where our first office studio, we were trying to come up with a name, and I just grabbed a bunch of names, because we wanted the station to be powerful and keep them jamming, and just keep them 24-hour jam. So I wanted a name that would be powerful, and I didn't see the word super. Yeah. It just never have that Caribbean to it, So say, yo, Supa, and at the time, you have Supa Twitch down a Fort Lauderdale, and Supa Twitch powerful. So I say, yeah, man, we keep the name Supa, and Jimmy say, yeah, man, because we need why may I think one name Jimmy, we need to keep the people in my dance and jam and rare. I say, yeah, SupaJamz. And the woman like, wait a second, SupaJamz. But when we wrote it on paper, the name just looked like a stand out. So I said, I wrote with this just until, and the first week we decided to try it out on ear. Back then everybody had pirate station, and when we tried it out, we were shocked how much people call and sit up on the road and say, yo, I own SupaJamz, and I'm like, yo, I wasn't expecting that much feedback the first week, and it was overwhelming, but at the same time great. And then we realized this is what Palm Beach was missing.
We stay jamming.
We really needed it, and when I got the opportunity, to have an actual legitimate, radio station, I took a gamble, because of course it is not cheap. It is not cheap to run. The behind the scene is fun, but is not, because you have to deal with everything. But that was the risk that we were willing to take. And we decided, okay, we're gonna go 100% with it, and what we're now almost 6 years.
So that name came up before this building, right?
The name, no, it's funny. The building come up. The station idea came up before the name. We couldn't think of a name, and we wrote down
No,
about
but
10
I know you were
names.
operating from a different building,
Right.
and it was a different station
Right.
until you moved to this building,
Until we
and
moved to
then
this
officially got
started.
on like
On
a
the-
certain dial.
Right. We back then, like I said, we when we were doing it for fun,
Mm-hmm.
we were pretty much an underground station.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met with some people. Some people heard us and thought we were just professional about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't want to get kicked off, so we wanted to stay professional. And me and Jimmy have a theory, like if our parents can't listen to it,
Mm-hmm.
it now play upon the radio. And that's the order that we kept. And it's funny, corporate heard us. Corporate heard us and had a meet with us and gave us the opportunity to have our own,
Mm-hmm.
and we jumped at it. And 6 years later, we're still riding. It's still a battle, but we're still riding, and it's a good journey. It's a great journey.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you some of the amazing things that we've heard about the station, both good and bad, because our thing, as owners, we do want the compliments, but we want the faults, so we can grow off of the faults. When somebody severe is like, yo, my love or no, tell me what you don't love. There got to be somebody really with them no love, and them get them opinion, and we try to build on that end of it, because we, all the DJ them on the radio have talent. I personally handpick them because them very talented. I have some that are new and just love it, and you can tell when somebody did for love and hype, and the person love it, and then we just bring them in and just show them the ropes.
So I was here the first day
Yes.
that you guys heard
Yes.
SupaJamz, heard the DJ that was in there playing on a official dial.
Official dial.
And you were driving around Palm Beach from like one end to the next to make sure that you're still
Calling.
hearing it
Can you
and
still
calling
hear
it. Yeah, and we're on the phone. So that day was amazing.
I remember that day. It's funny, we the hour, the day it came on a Saturday, and I never forget. It came on a Saturday, so we didn't know it was gonna come on the Saturday. We thought that, it would delay. So the company that gave us the license for it, we're on the road. So Pablo was playing. Never forget. Pablo was playing that song by Little Wicked. The song name Freak of the Week. The song name Freak of the Week. So it's like at the moment Pablo played the song, the person them either flip the switch and we just on the dial. So then the guy called and go, hey, what's I hope you can bleep this out now. What is up, Pum Pum? I was like, huh? I'm saying, what's up, Pum Pum? So I'm saying, what do you mean? I'm saying, yo, I'm listening to the dial. Oh, by the way, you guys are on the dial. I'm like, what? So we turned on the radio, we heard it, and I'm like, it's a fruit.
Oh my.
I don't know if you're someone I get one of it, but that's the only thing could have come up because we didn't want to say, oh well, it's that, and then go, oh, you guys are off. I was like, it's a fruit, and we had to call Pablo like, Pablo, you're live, and you can tell the difference because now it's like, oh snap, it's a different league now. We went and picked up DJ Basic because he was coming up next time. I think that was the first and only time I've seen Basic nervous on playing music.
Yeah, because
That
he was
day,
driving. Well, I don't know who was driving, but all three of y'all were in the car, and y'all were calling us and driving around, and then he was next up.
Yep.
That was a day.
Daisy, you're up. I think that's the first
He was very
time I
nervous.
see Basic nervous playing music because it's like we don't know who's listening, and that's the thing about radio. You never know who's listening, but when you're at an event or somewhere and somebody pointing at you and go, yo, that's the guys that they're on the radio, that's the guys who want it. It's a great feeling. And just knowing, say, we put our stamp on the community. We say we give this part of the journey to the community. It's I can't describe the feeling. Very good.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about the success, making it on the dial and everything. I also know with that, you mentioned how expensive it is.
Ugh.
I know, of course, there has to be a struggle to get there.
Yeah.
Investments and all of that good stuff. And then also working with people.
Yeah.
Leadership when it comes to managing
That is the hardest.
DJs and
That is the hardest part about this business, because in music you meet a lot of people where you become friends, and then sometimes the friendship and business just don't mix. Like you can have, you can be a very talented person, but if your heart to get along with it, it just not gonna work. And sometimes people stop and go, hey, how come when I hear so and so on the radio no more? They outgrow the radio. Your ego sometimes outgrow the business, and sometimes in our defense we would tell them, hey, look, we think you outgrow the radio, so and we give them advice. Try this route, go that route, yeah, and good luck. Some stay, but it's not everybody mesh together. Sometimes when you have two powerful, two talented people together, them just it's just too positive, and it always come out to something negative. So
strong personalities.
the strong personalities, clash a lot. I've seen talk shows come on the radio where two strong person, and we have to separate them. Like, you need your own show, you need your own show. It's a lot of obstacle in the way. Finance, when we came up and we thought, okay, we're getting there. Here comes COVID. COVID shut down a lot of businesses that used to support the station. So now it's a matter of, okay, financially keeping the station afloat. Prayer and God do it. That's all I can tell you. Prayer and God do it, because some days, some months we don't know how we made it. And for me personally, having a strong family behind me, I've been Jai, my mom, just behind me 100%. That helped push, keep we afloat for most of the crazy. We all got through COVID, and we know how it was. Having a strong family behind you and support. One person when I went away, he's been there from day one. Mr. Smith from Caribbean China said, nah, left. This is his. He asked Mr. Smith, this is SupaJamz, this is because many times him actually help us financially. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know that Mr. Smith have a deep investment in the station, because he was, anybody who owns station and know this part of it knows it's not cheap, and that initial money to come together. Believe me, I've been to a lot of people that I know, come to the studio. When we had the first station, met them tons of money, and go, hey, we doing a station, we need some help, and everybody look up to the sky and look up and don't answer them phone, and it's like, wow. And Mr. Smith say, oh no, come on, let's go. Him, a couple of people, put a hand in, the community did come through to help us put the station together, because they knew, business wise, they knew it was needed. And when it came up, the amount of thank you. I remember one morning in particular, a lady called in the station, and we were just on the radio clowning. And don't ask how the morning show come together, but we were on the show, we were on the radio clowning, and the lady called, and she's like, I wake up this morning with my mindset said, I don't want to live today. I'm done with life, because no matter what I do, I can't get no better, whatever. And for some reason, I turn on the radio and hear it went from crying to laughing. I remember Nikki, that that came on at 12 o'clock. There was a lady that was literally jumping her car to go come in for end her life. And whatever Nikki was talking that morning, the lady heard and called in and started crying and said, at the nearest bridge, me that look for drive over. People that couldn't come out of them house, we keep them entertained. People, when they know nothing about Jamaica, because I know everybody hip to the social media for no, so okay, social media them can go on and get everything right there, and them listen to we. The type of station that we build is not the typical station you turn on your radio and all you hear is sad news every day and who kill and hear that. We actually try to take on the mind outside our everyday life until at least reaching a destination wherever or another. At least not have that half an hour, however long on the car or on the app, a little time for just have a good laugh. Have a good laugh, in the morning, and when I come home, and have a nice vibe coming home. I would try to take what is stress. That was our aim, to take what is stress off of people when they listen to the station. And that's what we try, that's the image of we try for people. So we're
Sounds
trying.
amazing.
We're trying.
It's working. And it's sounding good and looking good.
Yes, we hear that all the time, but again, I think that's what keep me and Jimmy grounded is that we know there is more we can do. There's more we can do. We try to again. Sometimes you can find some gem in a dirt, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for talent that's in because we have a lot of talent down here around here. Just nobody knows about it. So we try to pull them out, try to encourage them to come by the station, be a special guest, and that's how them get discovered. The companies now, they see what we stand for, and I think them say that we determined that we're not gonna leave, just like that I give up, and that is motivating them to come and support the station because we do have some religious people that support the station, sponsor the station to keep it afloat because as business people. They know it's hard.
Yeah.
They know it's hard on us. So that and like I tell people, when somebody call and ask, who own the station? And the first thing I ask is, you listen to the station? And I'm going, yeah. I'm say you. It's not our station, is our station.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what we tell people. So everybody try to keep it afloat and we just try to do our part.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, Mr. Block.
Yes, Miss
No. I never introduced. We didn't start this with the proper introduction.
No.
So I'm sitting here talking to someone who I know as Junior Blocks, but your mom gave you the name.
No.
Gosh.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so she gave him the name. No. All right, so we're gonna stick with Mr. Blocks. So we're gonna stick with Mr. Blocks, and we already talked about how we met. Now, should I say that first or after? No, me. I said which way to go. Okay. I mean, you already mentioned how strong of a family support you have and backing and everything like that. Because I was gonna ask you that question when you're talking about DJing and everything, to events, to studio work, and all of that coming all the way down. Did you always have that strong support that whole time? Because I know that.
Half enough. Because, our parents, Caribbean parents, they want the best for us, and to them, all they know their lives is work, right? All their lives they know how to work, and me, I took a different approach, especially with my kids. I said, look, I need you guys to enjoy what you guys are doing, and that way that will make us successful. And that's the approach that I took on life. Now, did my father fully agree with it? No, he didn't, because he asked me, he sat me down and asked me, please explain to me how spinning 2 record is going to support your family. And I had to come up with an answer, and I really couldn't. And he said, so you're just doing it because you love it? I said, yes. And he said, all right, make sure you have a plan B. And that's what I didn't know. My mom, she's not that she baby us, but she give us that support. You know what I mean? My wife, she give me that support. And I even, because all of this was built during marrying to her, and she support. My kids, them love music. My brother, my sister, them love music, and then they knew, back then when we were growing up as teenagers, and they were like, oh my God. Is that my little brother in the club having them people a dancer? Yes, and then them just support me now in that way. And most of my support is, like I tell people, is not the money mellow. We just need that push. And sometimes that's all you need is that push. As opposed to waste your time, and sometimes it will seem and feel like you're wasting time because you're not gonna get it just like that. If it come too easy, you're gonna lose it very easy. So the support is not just the finance part, but it's the support of you can do it. That's what you want to do, you can do it. And I think a lot of people, if them look upon life that way as in, okay, some people, you're a ton doctor because they make money. No, but they'll kill off somebody, and my conscience not about them. So me do what me love.
And you're probably gonna be miserable too.
Exactly. I always have a plan B though, because then that's when You know, my father step in and go, you're going to have a plan B.
Mm-hmm.
Your plan B is you need that paper in your hand to say you're smart.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much you're smart. You know, you finish school, and that's what I did. I make sure to please them first before I please myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because of course you always want your parents and to be proud of you. So I make sure give them that paper. Here you go. No, I'm gonna do what you want to do. Yeah. And you know, it happened. It worked out for me because to me, you know, I've watched my parents them struggle just like every other Caribbean family.
Mm-hmm.
We watch them struggle, and we want to change that for both them and our little one come up.
Yeah.
You know, so me want the mom, you're not have to work no more. You know, Jai, you're not have to work no more. No, I got this. And then same time, my kids them for alright.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kids, grandkids, them for alright. You know, and you know, cause we have to do like other people.
Mm-hmm.
Look out for our generation, and that's what I done. You know, this is where I think I'm going to make that change for me personally, and at the same time, do something good for the community and just put my stamp out there as far as, you know, the journey is concerned.
So I don't even have to ask you that question because that's basically passing on everything that you need to pass on, leaving behind everything that you need to leave behind, generational wealth and everything right there.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
That is just my journey. All I will put here for something, I think that is my journey. Part of my journey is for that generational wealth, you know, and at the same time leave your mark in the world. Yeah, that is my journey. That's why I asking me a few
I did. Okay, so I first want to say I'm very proud of you.
I know, you know, you were one of the first one to say congrats. You was actually here when we opened the door that first day. You pulled up and you were like, yo guys, y'all did it. You know, you were one of the first ones to come up and say you guys did. So
I was already here.
You was here, but when you pull up and you go, yo,
yeah,
we really did it. Yeah, we did it, man. And you know, we're trying. That was just the big. To me, even 6 years later, I'm still in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, but we did it. We can actually say we did it. You know, first black-owned Caribbean station in our West Palm Beach. Yeah, we can say we did it.
And then I'm also proud of you because you say you're still shy and whatever the case is, you won't come in if Jimmy's not here. But also, 3 years ago or so, 4 years ago, you wouldn't talk, as far as I know. You wouldn't talk on the mic at all. You would be there mixing, but you wouldn't talk on the mic at all. And you weren't necessarily playing, you made mixes, but you weren't necessarily playing all the time. So I remember one day, you were actually, you were filling in for someone, I think. And I was like,
are you that?
Recording, because I'm like, he's actually here, live on the radio, playing. And now you're on the morning show, talking, living your best life, being your best self, being opinionated and just putting it out there. And I love to see it and I love to hear it.
Yeah,
it's just amazing.
A lot of people stop with that. I really hear that about the radio all the time. I say, yeah, well, it's like, but boss, you wouldn't even open your mouth.
Yeah.
Like nobody would know who you is until, you know, somebody pointed out and said, that's who do. Because you just, I don't know. I enjoy what I do.
That's exactly what I do.
I really enjoy what I do, and then you will see that the kid come out. I mean, to me, this is the kid come out to me playing with this toy, and that's why you know you will hear me talk or you will hear me run joke. And sometimes I ask people, I want people stop me and say, "Yo, man, listen to the radio." I'm like, why? Because it's like crazy, and you know, I'm saying, no, that's the good part about it. You know, it
that's
doesn't
why they
sound
listen.
planned. Yeah, it doesn't sound planned. You guys talk about everyday life and you make us laugh. And I think that is what, you know, push us more is when people say we make them laugh. You know, I get texts all over in the morning, you know. Some days we do have some serious, because, you know, of course, we have to touch, you know, the serious part of it, but for most part of it, when somebody texts and them emoji and say, boy, now me I could die laughing this morning. Or
3 things that I want to leave everyone with about you. 1, your favorite food.
My favorite food?
Or 2.
My favorite ain't nothing beat a curry chicken dumpling. That's my favorite food.
I hear you. Curry chicken, good. I love me some curry chicken too.
Right. And of course, but then me listen, I call it fish. I don't know them people call it swimmers out the road. I call it snapper fish. Nothing beat a snapper fish.
Fried steam,
No,
escovitch.
man, type of escovitch, man. I'm trying to get used to the steam fish. I don't know why I can't get used to it, but you know, I eat it. But my first pick is man, give my escovitch fish. But any day of the week, a curry chicken and dumpling. I'm gonna go to work. You can tell. At the floor of this, probably a picnic.
All right, and then your favorites. Let's go with rhythm or artist.
Favorite rhythm, believe it or not, is a you know, if you ask 9 out of 10 DJ, them two top rhythm for them is answer rhythm and punana rhythm. Favorite my favorite rhythm, me, but me can listen night, day and night, no matter what time it is you know that rhythm where the drop leaf rhythm. Drop leaf rhythm, you can listen, you can get 3 different emotions from that one rhythm. The song them what up on it. And if you
because
want,
it has artists ranging
from lovers rock to culture to hurt to funeral to angry. You have all them artists up on one rhythm. You know, if you want lovers mood, you can play it, you know, the Maxi Priest, the Jack Cure. If you want, you know, if you want motivation, you can listen to the Sizzler. You know, you got to be strong. You know, you hurt, you lose somebody, you can listen to the TOK. You know, it is, you know, it's
a variety.
And if you want the anger, Tanya Stevens there, right? Tanya Stevens there, right there. So that's the rhythm that stand out to me. And it's very unfair to say your favorite rhythm because any Dave Kelly rhythm, man, boy, you see the tribute when I'm giving there. Any Dave Kelly rhythm is a favorite rhythm. Pepper Seed, Joyride, At Wax, Brookout, Showtime is any Kelly rhythm when you're in that zone. But when you just want a nice, you know, drop leaf for me. I can turn on my car, go work a morning time, drop leaf and come home to drop leaf.
I hear you.
That's my rhythm.
Alright. Oh, and that's it. Do you have a favorite artist?
Favorite artist? My
Multiple. Or you can't choose.
It's hard to choose. It's hard to choose. And Managa said foundation, as you know, everybody Bob Marley. Yeah. No. My favorite artist back then was Shabba Ranks. Shabba was a different, a unique artist where, you know, and it's funny. I asked artists back then, who are the baddest DJing on them? Said Shabba. Give Shabba any rhythm for sing pan and him can. And back then it's not every artist can do it. And these days I listen to give me any Chronix music for listen, give me any Leela Ike and this kid called Protege.
Oh yeah.
That's just what
me too.
music stuff. Chronix. Now I'm gonna listen to Protege, man.
Me like Protege, so I like the whole of them and
that rap
unit.
What is name? Indignation or something like that?
Well, that's Protege.
That movement.
They call themselves rebel.
Yeah, that movement there is my hope of still having people saying reggae music come out of Jamaica. Because believe it or not, man, you have some group out there in California. When you go out for them concerts, you actually feel them vibes, you know. But me listening to an artist, yeah, my first go-to person is Chronix, Protege, Leela.
It's like all Chronix music. Every song that you listen to is like
you have to listen. You know, it's
funny.
like
he never goes wrong.
You know, it's funny. Believe it or not, when the first station that we were on, I can honestly say we brushed Chronix, and it's funny, you know. I used to go up on the station and play them, you know, right? And you know, one the DJ would say, yeah, you're Rasta friend them. And I said, no man, listen to that youth song, right? And the song that I was playing at the time was him say They Don't Know. They don't know the struggles you go through. And 2 years later, him and Version. 2 years later, me everybody around up, oh, Chronix, I'm that one. That was the Rasta friend who used to go smoke on the radio to say, when me I go there, brother. You know, but it take people a while to listen, and that's why I always say that's why radio is important. Sometimes when you hear a song over and over again, it's because we want to learn the song, not because somebody pay you to play the song. It's because we know the song is good. We hear a song where people are playing a part and we played 4 or 5 years ago. Everybody wonder what that we are playing. Yeah. You know, same. Then I remember Lila Ike from 20. Gosh, I gotta ask G Code. I think it was 2017, and people was just catching. 2 years later, they were just catching on to Lila Ike. Protege. Nobody never realized until him started singing. Him was that little kid that was singing with Kimani Marley. Say, you know, the Rasta down. And she doesn't know that she's in love with a Rasta man. That was Protege and Kimani. No, people don't know.
Oh yeah, when his hair was.
When then when they, you know.
Yeah, been at it.
So you know, sometimes and to me, I don't go for the hype song because nowadays just people go for the catchphrase. But listen to an actual song. That's why sometimes I can listen to Dexter song and laugh because what Dexter sing about. Sometimes it's true, sometimes somebody actually lived that life, you know, and then same thing with Chronix them, you know, I can relate. But for me, with the man them I sing about the banger this and that, no, I never have no banger in my time.
You know, that's a conversation for a whole nother day because I'm listening to the radio and I heard you and Jimmy and Led and y'all going back and forth about it. And at first I was on one side and I was like, what is this? What are those persons talking about? And then now it's like I'm trying to give things a chance. Whole nother conversation. But
I love them debates. Especially with Led and Chef them. Chef them always call DJ Chef call. Hey, we know all man. And yes. You know, and every generation go through it. You know, but I feel them time now, and this is what I hit now, and you can't fight that. But for tell me, if I said, boy, okay, go play it in a dance, and I can't. I will listen to it and try to understand what I'm saying. But me can only go by in my era. This is what we used to do. Because to me back then we were just singing. You know, I sing about fun. You know, you might call to a woman and a woman show you. But now the song I'm singing now is, yo, you better stop when I call to you. I'm mature. I start to bite up in down your throat a lot of
it's like you can't really believe that they're singing about the things that they're singing about, but a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, these young cats, them make money and more important than them, and them break barriers with them songs because
they sure are.
There's a
surprisingly.
There's a fan for everything. Yeah,
exactly.
I see these same cats in a concerts or in Europe, and the place black and people are singing them songs word for word, just like yo, it's working for somebody, but give me my 90s, man. You know what I'm saying? Nothing about that 90s dance.
Nothing at all. I feel like I'm exactly between. Even though I'm on the younger side, I'm like.
You grew up on 90s music, so you're stuck in the middle. It's always good to have a diverse man, and that's what I look for in a DJ, especially when a DJ come to work at SupaJamz. We don't just play reggae music, you know, and we look for the person that diverse, because you never know who's listening. We cannot tell who's listening. Yes, we do see the numbers that's listening online, but we can't tell who of them car or driver or not listen. You know, so sometimes you need that diverse. You know, you have an African I listen, give them Afrobeats. You have the Trinidad people that listen, give that. Listen, you know how much time Trinidad people call up your house with? Because DJ them, we'll give them a 5 minutes worth, and it's like that's how we getting, and it's sweet when them curse, you know. Got them curse, but them curse like them are singing. But you never know who's listening. So a diverse DJ is always a good DJ. Like how you say you're caught in the middle, you know, you grow up listening to 90s song in your house, and then now you have to listen to this type of song. So it's like, okay, you have to go back. You have to answer the question,
a chance and
which one is better. Like. But we would just go straight 90s now. It's like, nah man, nothing wrong with that 90s.
No, nothing can
compare to 90s. And them young youth guys, what them youth are bad man. No. I agree because we see the reaction in that crowd with them. But when you look on our era of music and see the reaction, it's like the same thing. It's just two different time in music.
It's just the persons who are coming up now.
Yeah, just two
and
different
what they like.
Exactly. None of that's like 90s.
I agree. I need a shirt. Their shirts, Mego gets our shirts.
Nothing nice like that. This does. I get no people upset.
All right. Well, thank you again for sitting and chatting with me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You know, you get our story.
Yeah. And again, well, with you now, how can the people reach you, find you?
They can always reach us on the morning show because until we get fired off of the morning show, we're not leaving the morning show. And that is the best way to get us. Just listen in the morning if you're in Palm Beach. You know, we have the app, the SupaJamzRadio app. That's where you're most likely to find us. I mean, I said us. During the day, you know, we have to run the things. So in the morning, catch us in the morning, and that's the best way to catch us. Any one of the social media platform them is always at SupaJamzRadio, because that's what we stay and that's what we jam.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.